you're like us, every day you're waking up and you want today to be a little bit better than yesterday. You personally want to be a little bit better than yesterday. And you're trying to change one thing, and that's your actions. Or today we're going to talk about the thing that you really need to consider changing. It's not your actions, it's your thought. Welcome to Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
I'm here to help you find the beauty
in the darkness.
If you found that light,
show your glow to the rest of the world.
So again, it's not changing your actions that really truly change your life. Would you agree it's truly changing your thoughts?
Well, you have to start with your thoughts.
Why is that?
Because if you don't start with thought and you start with action, you're probably acting on the wrong thoughts. Your thoughts got you where you are. You need to change your way of thinking to get to where you want to be.
Doesn't that come down to really being self-aware as to what you're thinking?
I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I just know what's worked for me.
I do believe that self-awareness is key. So walking through the 5 steps is changing your thoughts that change your beliefs. Your beliefs determine your emotions and how you're feeling. Your feelings determine your actions, and your actions determine your outcome. And a lot of people start with trying to change your actions. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't. It's you're skipping a few steps ahead of it because,
like 3.
Like I said, if you don't change your thoughts first, why are you changing the action? If you haven't thought through why you're changing the action, then have you actually put any effort into changing it?
And it takes a lot more effort, I think, to change your thoughts than it does to change an action.
Well, and that's what I mean. So my question that I'm asking you is this, is can you change your action without changing your thought process first?
Temporarily. I think you can temporarily change an action, but I don't think it can last unless you truly change your thoughts.
Well, because
first and foremost,
what actions do you change first if you haven't thought about it?
Well, I mean, you could decide that you could say, I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to lose 100 pounds, right? And you start into that, and 2 days in, you're like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. Why? Because you really haven't given true thought as to really why you want to lose 100 pounds. Like, why you're truly trying to do that. Is it for you? Is it for your family? Is it for your health? Is it for more clarity in your life? Is it for more energy? I mean, if you haven't really determined exactly the why behind the change, it's not going to be sustainable.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
I was just curious if you had a good example of how to explain it to them a little bit better.
Yeah,
because
that's what I would say.
I don't disagree. You cannot change action without thought first. You have to put thought and energy into why, what, and how. And what is it going to do for me?
Yeah.
Or what is it going to do to advance his kingdom? That's where we're at. But if you're in the beginning, it's what does it do for me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think that, God wants us to be the best version of ourselves. And I do think that it starts with kind of what we're thinking about ourselves. We've talked about this in previous videos. What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? And by the way, even if you do like a meditation and you use your imagination to get to where you want to go, did you know that your memory and your meditation, they're on the same brainwave length? I mean, your brain doesn't know the difference between the two, literally, between what you remember and what you imagine. Kind of crazy, but it's true. And that's why you can kind of reprogram kind of who you are if you can get back to your beliefs. I mean, and the question I would ask anybody out there is, who do you believe that you are? What are you saying to yourself? Right? What kind of comments are you making about yourself? And what is that doing to you personally? You remember beating yourself up at all when you were?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Day,
why am I like this? What's wrong with me? Why am I so different? What is happening to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me?
Here's the other thing too. When you have a thought that leads to a belief, you know what you're doing? You're actually making a decision. You are deciding on something when you're doing that. And the word decisive comes from the word decision. I mean, it's grounded if you have that thought, right? That's why you need to go back and change your thoughts on anything that you're dealing with, and really kind of dig in to figure out why you're having those thoughts.
Well, and I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Thoughts create everything. That's where it all starts for me. I can talk myself into anything with the right thoughts.
Or the wrong ones.
Depends on who's watching.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. God's always watching, by the way. So you do that, right?
Valid point.
The eyes of the Lord search the earth for those who seek his heart. Just FYI, he's watching.
I know he's always watching. There's a reason I don't drink when I'm alone. Just because nobody else knows doesn't mean he doesn't know.
That's right. There you go. So again, what your beliefs lead to your emotions and how you're feeling. It's that simple, right? You think about something, you have a belief, you will have an emotion tied to that belief.
Agreed. And as long as you don't allow your emotions to control you, You'll be fine.
So can I bring up a question for you personally? When you went to the bottle back in the day, what was your belief about why you were drinking?
I didn't
You
have
were-
a belief about it. I just did it because it made the feelings go away.
So you basically were saying, I don't want to have any emotion.
Correct.
You mentioned that before.
I do not want emotion. Emotions make me weak. Don't need that.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts around helping people kind of deal with their emotions? I mean, what's your guidance there? Because obviously you haven't drank in over almost 12 years now.
Just over 11, actually. It was 11.
Just over 11?
Yep, 11, November 1st.
Okay. All right. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, buddy. I don't know. I guess I don't have good advice when it comes to that because I think I'm still trying to figure that out. I just try not to let my emotions control me. I've probably cried more real tears in the last 7 years of my life than I did probably the first 35 or 40.
He's a big baby.
Yeah, I am. I'm a big softie when it comes down to it. That's what happens when you have 3 daughters. You don't have a choice. You either become a little soft or you get fed to the wolves.
I've heard a phrase before: "Tears are the words that the heart cannot express."
Fair enough.
You know?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Not disagreeing with that. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah. And I think it's good to have that emotion in our life. I think what I love about your comment is I feel that when you have something that happens, what's coming up is going away.
Yep.
Right, you're releasing it.
Agreed.
And we got to have some type of release to get through.
I agree, and
stuff
that's
that we're
that's
working
what I didn't want to do. That's why I drank.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had to deal with it, it meant it was real. If it was real, it was a problem. If it was a problem, it'd take up my time. And if it took up my time, I didn't have time for that. I got other things to do. Better things to do with my time than to deal with my emotions. Just bury them deeper and drink them deeper.
Can you actually rip through that again? What you just said?
What? Which part? There was a lot of it.
You got to rip through there. But I'm going to go back to that piece. That was solid there. But
Just about how I drank, because if it was an emotion, if it was an emotion, it was real. If it was real, it was a problem. If it was a problem, I had to deal with it. And if I had to deal with it, I didn't have time for that.
So can anybody out there relate to that string of comments right there? I'm sure there's somebody out there.
That's how my head always went.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm feeling something, make it go away. Because if I'm feeling it, it's real. If it's real, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem, I have to deal with it. And I don't have time to deal with those problems. Those problems don't mean anything.
So
But what I didn't realize is by not dealing with those problems, I just buried them deeper and they festered with the booze.
Well, and so that led to inaction then. That
It led to a
you
toxic
actually-
action.
Toxic action. So again, that emotion or lack of dealing with them led to
More problems.
more problems, right? And that's where you need to get your kind of head on straight, literally, by going back to your thoughts. I mean, you can actually go to self-talk, meditation, literally sit there and try to think about nothing is actually helpful, believe it or not, especially if you have a lot going on in your life. I like to call on Bible verses, or I like to just meditate on God when I'm
Throw some music on and get lost in it.
Yep, get lost in that, right? But those actions will lead to your outcome. And you know what? Here's the thing. We talked about this in the previous video. If you change your thoughts consistently, and the Bible does say to think of all things that are good and righteous, guess what? The outcomes take care of themselves.
Yep, they always do. They end up falling away to the wayside and the problems go away. It's kind of crazy.
Yep. So really, take some time to change your thoughts, whatever that might be. Again, it might be listening to music. It might be reading, right?
Whatever is your thing. For me, it's listening to music or going for a side-by-side ride or snowmobiling or shooting guns, that kind of stuff. Whatever your release is, go do it. So you can let go, because once you let go of that, you can move forward.
Yeah, get rid of the negative thoughts in your head. I mean, again, you have a decision to make. You can choose to think of positive things or negative things. And by the way, they say that you actually focus on 12% of all the information that's around you. So what about the other 88%? You're not pulling in. You're focusing on the negative things right now. If you're in a negative state, I would submit that's what you're doing. Focus on the positive things in your life. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have a job? Do you have a wife to go home to? Do you have a child to go home to? Do you have a warm place to go? Right?
Because
Do you
there's
have one friend that you can
plenty
call?
of people out there who don't have any of
Do you
those
have water
things.
in your house?
We live in Michigan. It's cold.
Yeah. So, look, there is hope out there. It's just a matter of what you're saying up here.
It's all
That's
about
simple.
changing your perspective.
Yep. And that gets back to changing your thought, changing what you believe, and changing the true decisions that you're making within your life. Again, this has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
We're here to help you find the beauty.
In the darkness.
We'll check you out in the next video.
See you guys. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.